Scene script. Have you ever wondered how a conflict that has been ongoing for decades came to be? What are the roots of the Israel-Hamas war? Let's take a step back to the year 1917. We find ourselves in the midst of World War I, a time of global upheaval and change. It was in this year that the Balfour Declaration was made, expressing the British government's support for the establishment of a Jewish homeland in Palestine. But why in Palestine, you ask? The answer lies in the deep historical and religious ties that the Jewish people have to this land. Fast forward to the end of World War II. The horrors of the Holocaust led to an increase in Jewish immigration to Palestine, and with it, a growing aspiration for a Jewish state. Enter the United Nations in 1947. They proposed a partition plan, a blueprint for dividing Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states. This plan, however, was met with rejection by the Arab leadership. This rejection was not simply a no, it was a spark that ignited the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. This war was not just a battle over land, but a struggle between identities, histories, and futures. A struggle that has morphed into the Israel-Hamas conflict we know today. A conflict that continues to be fueled by the religious significance of Palestine for Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And thus, the stage was set for a conflict that would span decades and impact countless lives. Religion plays a significant role in this conflict, but how so? Let's delve deeper. The land of Palestine holds a profound spiritual significance for three major world religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. For Jews, it's the land of their forefathers, promised to them by God, and the location of their holy temples. Christians, on the other hand, trace the life and crucifixion of Jesus Christ to this land. Meanwhile, Muslims revere it as the site of Prophet Muhammad's night journey and ascension to heaven. These beliefs impart a deep-seated emotional connection to the land, making it more than just a piece of territory. They elevate the conflict from a mere geopolitical dispute to a battle for religious identity and spiritual survival. This religious aspect fuels the conflict, as each group feels a divine mandate to protect and claim the land. It's worth noting that not every follower of these religions supports the conflict, and many advocate for peace and coexistence. Nevertheless, the religious significance of the region adds a layer of complexity to an already intricate conflict. In 2008, a new chapter in this conflict began. But what led to the Israel-Hamas war? The conflict had been simmering for decades, but the fuse was lit when the militant group Hamas took control of the Gaza Strip. This group, known for its staunch opposition to Israel, was now in a position of power, and tensions quickly escalated. Hamas, which had its roots in the First Intifada, or uprising against Israeli rule in the late 20th century, had grown in strength and influence over the years. They were now a significant political force, and their control of the Gaza Strip marked a turning point in the conflict. The Gaza Strip, a small but densely populated territory, became a flashpoint for violence. Israel viewed Hamas's control as a direct threat to its security. The group's refusal to recognize Israel's right to exist, combined with its history of launching attacks against Israeli civilians, led Israel to take military action. This marked the beginning of the Israel-Hamas war. It was a conflict marked by aerial bombardments, rocket attacks, and a devastating human toll. And while there were temporary ceasefires and lulls in the fighting, the conflict has been ongoing, with no clear resolution in sight. The Israel-Hamas war was yet another escalation in a conflict that seems to have no end in sight. Wars have consequences. What are the ramifications of the Israel-Hamas war? The fallout is vast and wide-reaching. One of the most immediate and heartbreaking consequences is the displacement of Palestinians. Their homes, their lives disrupted by the chaos of war, forcing them to seek refuge elsewhere. This displacement has led to a significant refugee crisis, with countless individuals and families left homeless, their futures uncertain. But the implications extend far beyond the immediate. This war has the potential to ignite future conflicts, to further fan the flames of discord in an already volatile region. The impact on peace efforts cannot be understated. The India-Middle East-Europe corridor, a crucial diplomatic and economic link, could be affected, potentially disrupting peace efforts and economic stability in the region. The future remains uncertain, and the need for resolution is more urgent than ever. Finding a resolution is a Herculean task, but what could be the potential ways forward? As we delve into this, let's first acknowledge that the path to peace is not paved with easy decisions. Rather, it requires a complex interplay of strategies and actions. One approach is intensifying diplomatic efforts. This means countries and international organizations stepping up to mediate between the conflicting parties. It's like a global tug-of-war, where each pull and release needs to be carefully calibrated to maintain balance. Next, we have international mediation. An impartial intervention where a third party helps facilitate a resolution. Imagine a referee in a boxing match, ensuring fair play and helping both sides reach an understanding. Dialogue, too, is crucial. It's the open and honest communication between the conflicting parties, like a heart-to-heart conversation, aiming to bridge differences and foster understanding. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, is empathy. This is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. It's like stepping into someone else's shoes, seeing the world through their eyes, and feeling their heartbeat. The road to resolution is long and arduous, but it is a journey that must be undertaken for the sake of peace.